Hi, in this video we're going to be looking at converting fractions to percentages. Now, a percentage is another way of writing a fraction with the denominator of 100. So we are going to represent a number with a denominator of 100. Alright, here's our first fraction that we need to convert to a decimal. It is 6 over 100. Now, over here I have 100 squares, which is 10 multiplied by 10 gives us the 100 squares, and that represents the percentage. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to color in 6 squares out of this 100 just to see what it looks like when I draw it. Alright, well there you go. I have colored in only 6 squares out of this whole 100. So 6 out of all 100 I can simply rewrite as 6%. Alright, so 6 over 100 is equal to 6% because it is out of 100 squares. We've got 6 colored in out of 100 squares. What about this one? Well, simply 25, I'm going to color in 25 squares and then I'm going to convert it to a percentage. Put the video on pause and come back when you've done that. So there we go, 25 squares colored in out of a possible 100, and 100 obviously is what we call a percent, so I'm just going to write percent, and I've got 25 colored in, therefore 25 over 100 is equal to 25%. Well done. Alright, well question 3 asks what about 3/10? So I need to convert 3 over 10 to a percentage. The simplest thing to do is to convert this to a denominator over 100. So what are we going to do? We're going to multiply 10 by 10 to get 100, and what we do to the denominator we need to do to the numerator, so we're going to multiply 3 by 10 as well, which is what I've done over here. Now hopefully you recognize that 30 over 100 is an equivalent fraction to 3 over 10. Okay, so 30 over 100 is equivalent to 3 over 10 as an equivalent fraction. And now all I'm going to do is color in 30 squares and I'm going to convert that to a percentage, which looks something like this. There we go. I've colored in 30 squares out of a possible 100. So therefore 30 over 100 is equal to 30%. Alright, well done. Now there is also an alternative way to convert this particular fraction to a percentage, and I'll show you that now. And here it is. 3 over 10, which is our question, multiplied by 100%. And if we wanted to, we could actually turn that into a fraction as well. And all we need to do now is simply multiply out. So 3 multiplied by 100 is equal to 300% over 10 multiplied by 1 gives me 10. And I simplify my fraction over here. So I'll knock off those zeros over there. So that'll be 30 over 1, and 30 over 1 is the same as 30. And I mustn't forget my percentage sign. And I put my percentage sign in, and that is correct. So there are 2 different ways that you can actually work out the percentage of a particular fraction. Alright, well here's another one for you to do. I want you to convert 1/5 to a percentage. Remember what we did, making 1/5 an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. Alright, put the video on pause, come back when you're ready, see if you've got it right. Alright, well, what have we done to 1/5? Well, we've multiplied the denominator by 20 to get to the 100. So 5 times 20 is equal to 100. And what we do to the denominator, we need to do to the numerator. So we've multiplied 1 by 20 to give us 20 over 100. And now I've quite simply just colored in 20 of those squares, and in fact that represents 20%. Alright, what about the other way to work this out? And here you have it. So the fraction multiplied by 100% over 1, and basically 1 multiplied by 100 gives you the 100% over there, and 5 multiplied by 1 gives you the 5. We simplify this fraction over here. 5 goes into 120 times, and not forgetting our percentage sign. Okay, so well done. There's two different ways of achieving the same answer. Okay, here's another one for you. 3 over 25, or 3/25. We need to convert that into a percentage. Go ahead, put the video on pause, and come back when you're ready. Alright, well, how did you go? Well, 3 over 25, I need to multiply 25 by something to arrive at 100. So 25 multiplied by 4 gives me 100. And what I do to the denominator, I need to do to the numerator. So 3 multiplied by 4 gives me 12 over 100. I've put those into my squares, and that gives me the pictorial representation. And then clearly I know that 12 over 100 is equal to 12%. And if it did all of that, well done. And of course, the other way to do it, the fraction multiplied by 100% over 1. 3 times 100% is 300%, and 25 multiplied by 1 is 25. We simplify this fraction over here. How many times does 25 go into 300? Well, it goes in 12 times, and not forgetting our percentage sign. Alright, so if you got those, well done. Alright, well, here we have 3/8, and we need to convert that into a percentage. Alright, so put the video on pause and come back when you have solved this particular question. Alright, well, this time round we actually had to use the second method, because 8 multiplied by another whole number is not going to give me 100. Alright, there's nothing that I can multiply 8 with to get to 100 unless I multiply by a decimal, and I can't do that. So the first option is out, so the second option is the option I use. So 3/8 multiplied by 100% over 1. 3 multiplied by 100% gives me 300%, and 8 multiplied by 1 gives me 8. I then simplify this fraction. How many times does 8 go into 300? Well, it goes in 37.5 times, and not forgetting my percentage. Hopefully you got that right, and if you did, well done. Alright, well, this time round I have a whole number and I also have a fraction, and I need to convert this all to a percentage. Now, a bit tricky this one, but put the video on pause, give it a go, and come back when you're ready to see if you got it right. Alright, well, your answer should be 140%. But how did we get there? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to split this fraction up. I'm going to take this whole number 1, and I know that the whole number 1 is the same as 100 over 100, because I'm going to multiply 1, which is the same as 1 over 1, multiplied by 100 over 100, because I need my denominator to be 100. Yes? So 100 multiplied by 100 gives me the numerator of 100 over 100, which is exactly what I have over here. My 2/5 I'm going to add, and I'm going to convert my 2/5 to a denominator of 100. So I'm going to multiply 5 by 20 to give me the 100. And the 2 by the 20 to give me the 40. And now I have two fractions with the same denominator, so I can simply add my numerators. So that's 140 over 100. And as we've been doing in the past, any number over 100 we can simplify down to writing it as a whole number, which is 140, and don't forget our percentage. Now if you've managed to do all of these, you won't have any problems converting fractions to percentages.